Hello everyone and welcome. This is Angelina and I would like to say thank you for joining us today for the Smada World Opportunity webinar offered by Next Level Africa. We have a few more bits and pieces of information to pass on to you regarding the exchanges, and we will have a bit of a general overview of where we're at as usual with NLA. And yes, we will be having the Q&A at the end, so you're welcome to ask your questions covering all of the things that we've spoken about, as well as please remember though to hold all questions until the end. So I would like to say a big thank you to everyone joining us today from the various parts of the world and in many time zones. Welcome, and we really appreciate your attendance and participation. So with that, it gives me great pleasure to once again introduce you to our presenter for today, Mr. Noel Adams, the founder of Next Level Africa and our CEO and leader of the Smada World team. Welcome, Noel.
Thanks, everybody, and thank you to Angelina. All right, look, I'll get started straight away with it so that we can get as much covered as possible. There's a few things happening out there, I guess. You'll notice that obviously the exchanges are both up, but there are still things that they're working on in the background to rectify with the exchange. Some of it's too involved that I can't go over it because some of it I don't even know. But we're still waiting on some of the wallet activity in the way of, for those of you who have tried to deal with Chingaling, it seems that the wallets in the exchange are not synchronized with the external wallets, so sending and coin in and out of the exchange won't work at this point. They won't be lost, the coins, but they'll be in that coin black hole until that's rectified out there. So there are technicians working on the wallet activity, and they're trying to get that sorted out as well. With the 2FA, look, the bank have been in touch with us on that, and bearing in mind that we have been talking with them over the last couple of years to get that sorted out because it's a mobile app and they haven't got it available there yet, and we've asked to have information on there warning people not to take it up, but they refuse to do that, and for what reason I have no idea, because look, remember we deal with people that work for the bank and they're just instructed what to do. So we're backwards and forwards. So anyone that's got an account they can't get into at this point, what they've suggested to do is to just simply open up another account. And what I'm trying to get organized is that the coins that are in the old account to be transferred to the new account. So if anyone's got that as an issue, then really that at this point to open up another account. There's no point in sending in support tickets in that matter to the bank, so just open up another account and we'll be working as hard as we can to get them to sort out transferring the coins to the new account. So so if that helps anybody out there, then that's where they need to be with it. Just to let you know, and I think probably the most important thing out there a lot of people are hanging for is the state of the CEX in relation to the investors, and I'll just let you know where we are with that. And look, people, we notice in a lot of the rooms people making comment that why wouldn't they buy the $30 coins that are still showing up there. Look, the investors, and I want to confirm that their money is in the account ready to be actioned. Buying $30 coins and making an extra $1,000 or $2 is absolutely nothing on what these people are doing. They're not interested. They're buying 20 million coins. So what's up for sale at the moment on the exchange is a mere nothing to what these people are buying. But last Wednesday, UK time, there was an early morning meeting with investors and the bank, and we had put a strategy in place for them for how they would go about the purchasing of coins. Now they've agreed to that, and so as I mentioned before, we've got a person in America that coordinated their funds in, so they've signed off on all of that. Now what's happening is our head developer, Vaynard Vessels, Vaynard is organising a flight. He's going to the States to assist. He was trying to organise a flight all day yesterday. I'm not sure if he's managed to do that because they want him over there ASAP. So he'll be going over to the States to assist Trevor over in the States to sort out the purchasing of the coins. So it's still very much alive, and the coins will start to move. Look, I'm not sure whether it's going to happen while he's in the States or when he comes back, because you know, I've got 1,000 questions and he's dealing, like we all do, with just so many different departments to coordinate this. It's not just an easy activity to have happen out there when you're talking $2.8 billion, and with more to come. That's just the start, not the end of it. So anyway, but they're working in with this group, and we should have something on that towards the probably the beginning of next week, once he's over there. So we should have that in place for then. I noticed the coin value has gone up again there with the Jingling and NLA coin. Just there's been some people talking about the value of the Jingling coin, and that doesn't make sense with it being $500 and they've got 50 billion coins. Well, they haven't released all the coins. There's still, I think, look, I think that's under 10 billion coins that has been released. So they're wanting to release more, so they're wanting to get the exchange going, and that's all to do with his wallet being sorted out, the exchange going there, so all activity will happen on the exchange. So that's where the variation is. It's the amount of coins. If anyone can open up a Jingling wallet, if you go to statistics in the wallet area, you'll see in there where it's clearly got the amount of coins that they have, which is it's over 50 billion because of the staking component out there. But nevertheless, that's how many coins and that they have in the wallet. How many is in circulation? I've been told it's just under 10 billion. So that's where the value comes from. And of course, NLA, we went up to $150 a coin, which makes it very interesting there. Once we start with the exchange, that all trading on our coin goes through the exchange. And just to touch on it, we've got line 6 that's getting ready to go in. I have to confess that it's me being responsible for the delay in line 6 going in. There's been a few issues that I've had with line 5 that I've been working with. There was 50 odd accounts that weren't upgraded, so I wanted to get that sorted out, which we have almost completed that now. And so once I do that, it'll go in, and then backwards and forwards trying to get the things going with these investors. It's really taken a toll out there. I mean, we're spending 6 and 10 hours a day backwards and forwards because we're linking in with time zones, different time zones in the UK, South Africa, the States, and you can't get everyone together all the time. So it's someone doing something, and then you've got to wait for the next group to wake up because of security issues. There's only certain parts of it that's available to certain groups, and the next group has to do their thing. So anyway, look, we are getting very, very close to having that done. I should imagine this trip that the developer's going on now is not a trip where he's talking to investors to place their money and deposit it into the exchange. This is a positive trip where it's just going over there to assist the Trevor over there, who's been appointed by the bank to help the investors place the money in the correct accounts. And so it's just going over to assist on how the disbursement goes and how they purchase the coins. So so that's a very positive thing that's going on out there. So we are on the move with that. Just a quick update on a couple of other things there. We've got BCN. Now, they've said that they're going to be putting an update on their site for July, talking about new mining facilities and a new website. So they've been working on this for the last 5 months, and there are still things not working in there, so we've held back a bit. And I think that the vulnerability of the crypto that they mainly use, which is Bitcoin, we had that situation with Bitcoin. I'm not knocking Bitcoin, but it's a reality that it did hit $20,000 there last December, and now it's fluctuating around the $6,000 mark. I think it's a bit over 6,000 now, but it did go under there for a while. And with the mining facilities not in place, the mining activity's been down as well. So we just want to make sure that they've got everything in place before we start bringing more members into that. And as I mentioned before, that people waiting there for their portions, that their mining activity shared portions out there, we are in the pools. We are going to be looking after all of those people, so please don't worry on it. It's just that right at the moment there's just a few workarounds with it, and we don't have time to be doing that while we're trying to get NLA in place. The next one, of course, is UPB. UPB, they've contacted me there. They've looked between working with programmers and there's been a holiday time on in the US there, so they had a little bit of downtime on that. Found a few glitches, but they are pretty much on top of it now. So at any time now, they're going to be announcing that that UPB will be open, and they will start the trade, because we are going to be using the NLA coin in there. So I have to have meetings with them to get that in place, so we can have that completely sorted out. The program with using the NLA coin will be a very, very interesting program. Obviously, that comparing any program we have out there to Next Level Africa would be virtually impossible, because there's nothing that will stand up to what we've got going with Next Level Africa. As I've mentioned before, and I say this because it's important that people do understand that we do own the program, we own the currency that's used within the program, and we own the exchange that trades the currency. No other company in the world has got that as a complete package. And you know, if you can appreciate that some of the activity that will go on through the exchange, because a lot of this will find its way back into the NLA community, and because we don't really have massive overheads out there, and so it will certainly find its way back into the community. The other thing too is that I'll make mention of the bundled accounts. It's been probably one of the best promos for the members that we've had. We've had to decline a couple of them out there, because we've had members who have been that excited about it. They've been telling people that are non-members, and the time factor that it takes to assist these people that know nothing about the NLA project and program out there, and having to explain that, it's just been too hard. So we've had to, so if anyone's been associated with people, we've had to decline their request for the bundled accounts. It's because we just we don't have the capacity through admin. Angelina looks after all of this, and I must say she does an incredible job. I wake up mornings there and see some of the emails going backwards and forwards, and I can see that in some cases she's had to contact people 5, 6 and 7 times backwards and forwards with lengthy emails, and it's been a little bit of a challenge out there, so we've had to, you know, cut that back. So anybody sending any information in, please don't do it in 2 ways. People have been sending PM to Angelina, then they've been sending in emails, and it's finishing up in 2 places there, and she's got double the work to do. So sending it into the support at smada.world is the place to send it, so it's all in the one area that Angelina can deal with, and so that's where we want to have it. The other thing too is that I'll be going on to mention about the bundle accounts, but we're going to finish them now. We'll put the exact times, global times out there, but they'll finish midnight next Wednesday, Australia time, so that we can then move on to doing some other things. And because admin have been pretty much tied up trying to coordinate this, I mean, we made this offer out there to make sure our members got the benefit of it. And look, I haven't done the count because we've got quite a few there, but it's probably up around 4,000 plus accounts that have been taken by the members. So it's you know, it's an area out there that when we're talking 4,000, it's over 10,000. So it's an area out there that I was doing some numbers on it, but it's going to mean something like about, in terms of the dollar value on their coin, it's going to be about $6 million that will go back through the system. And we do have some groups that have been in touch with me now that simply want to sign up, but as you know, we've closed up there. You can't sign up until we get all the lines in place. So we have some large numbers wanting to join, but we'll have all the members' accounts in place before we allow any further sign-ups. So the members that have been there patiently waiting for the last 4 years and part thereof can be rewarded for their effort out there. So that's where we are with that. All right, look, I'll quickly go over the bundled accounts again, and then at the end of it we'll do a Q&A so that we can answer any questions that we can out there. I'll answer what I can, what I know, and anything I can't answer, whether it's to do with confidentiality on it, or whether it's to do with that I just simply don't know, then we'll deal with it as we get the questions. Now, as I mentioned before, there'll be no more dollar coins, and look, I'm looking to try and coordinate this. I did mention initially it was going to be at the end of June, but because it's very hard to factor in some of the issues that can happen, and of course when I first started this out there, we didn't have a group of investors that wanted to put $2.8 billion into the purchasing of our coin, and they can see value in it. So that's been a tremendous help for our members that we could leave this open a little bit longer. So because we have been tied up there with it, but it will be closing, and I'm hoping to have that done by the end of this month. But look, getting back started on line 9 and getting things in place, and if any other issues come up that we need to deal with, I just want to make sure that we've got everything sorted out and ready to go with it. But the members will still benefit from the length of time we leave it open for $1 for them. I mean, think about it, members are paying $1 for the coin that'll go back into the matrix, and people in the matrix will have the coin and be able to sell the coin through the exchange at in excess of $150 a coin, because with this increase from coming in from the investors, I should imagine this month will be probably one of our biggest increases in the NLA coin. I can see it going beyond the $200 by the end of this month. We're making this special offer to our members and guests. Purchase 50 plus positions in Next Level Africa at $20 US for each position. And we will need a spreadsheet so that they can be loaded in by our programmer. They will fall on line 9. And the reason we are doing this is to secure the dollar coin for the upgrade. Now, as I made mention before, that this will finish on the 11th of this month, July, at midnight Australia time. So anyone that's interested in this, because as I mentioned before, you imagine taking a $20 account, the 50 accounts. Now those accounts right at the moment, because we know that they will receive 3 sign-ups underneath them because of the amount of people we've got coming in. And what you don't see at the moment is the amount. The last time that you've seen the amount, it showed 32,000. Well, it's closer to the $50,000 membership mark now. So once it's opened up completely, you'll see that start to really jump. And I think that you well know that if the investors take action, there's going to be a lot of people that want to simply become part of it. Because right now, that if you had one account at $20, and this is what, no one will believe you on this, we're not asking our members to go outside the membership base, because you'll have people calling you insane to say that you'd spend $20 and receive $150 per coin that's with you there, which is $4,500. So who's going to believe you'll get $4,500 back for a $20 investment that's backed so heavily by the largest banking conglomerate in the world? So we certainly have, and our asset account now is very close to $11 billion. We're also letting members do the partial positions, sending an expression of interest for partial positions, 10 plus. We will link the members together and submit the one CSV file. The cost on this would be $22 because it's, remember this, you're not getting 5 coins in this for piggybacking. It's all to do with the fees that are sent to us, and so we just want to cover, because the programmers will charge us to load the files in, so we want to make sure that we're covered with that, and there are just bank fees all over the place that we're dealing with. So that's if you feel that you want to look at doing 10 positions, you can do them, and as I said, it'll close next Wednesday at midnight. So sending all expressions of interest to support at smada.world. That's the only place to send them. We don't want to be looking for them all over the place, because we do have other support emails. But sending that into that email address, Angelina coordinates all of that, and I can't express my my appreciation for her work that she does out there, and the amount of members that have come back in and commenting on the just that little bit of extra mileage that Angelina's prepared to go to, like all of our admin, in the way of Karen and Julie. I mean, they're both involved with things that we do out there. You'll see all the coordination of the webinar and information for members going out there by Julie, and she looks after that part of it. But we work as a team out there, and anyone that is not on the webinar and gets the advantage of seeing the recording. We've got Karen looking after that. So there's many things going on out there at the moment, and we're just trying to focus on where we need to be. So after this week we'll finish with the bundled accounts, or after next Wednesday, and hopefully focus on where we want to be with getting this really rolling along out there. And just to show you where we've been in the short space of time, on the 23rd of the 3rd, when we first started talking about this, the asset account was 4.5 billion. Our coin was valued at $62 a coin, and here we are now on the 4th of the 7th. The coin, our asset account, went to 10.8 billion, nearly 10.9, and the coin value at 150. So you can see that, looking at those figures there, in the next 3 to 4 months, you're going to find that this coin value will do that again. It'll go 2 or 3 times the value of 150. So you'll see our coin, I believe, in the next 3 to 4 months, you'll see it hit $500 a coin. So so anyway, that's where we are with it. I'm going to hand this back to Angelina now to coordinate any of the questions out there, and I'll hopefully be able to answer what I can, and so get any of your questions ready to go now. All right, then I'll hand it back to you, Angelina.
Thanks, Noel. Yes, it was quite exciting to see how our coin went up. I've just asked you to please post your questions in the chat now so that we can start rolling with the questions and comments. This is quite exciting, yes, that Bainin is on his way back to assist the investors in posting their money so that coins can be traded. So everything's really, even though we've got all these delays, everything really has a purpose in going forward. So we've got Debbie, the level 5 projects will be added when all of the accounts are paid in the line. As Noel just mentioned, they're not quite finished yet, so we're not quite ready to have the line 5 projects added. Okay, so does anyone have any questions going forward? We're looking forward to the projects being added, because that means some edits and changes that people will be able to go and do on their projects, just to make them look a little bit sharper and up to date. Thanks, Raymond. Yes, the Smada World website is looking terrific, and we really appreciate what Maxine and her team with Ray and Lou, they're doing on the Smada World website with the tutorials. You can go in and have a look around. Remember this too, this is a work in progress, okay? NLA and Smada World, we're still a work in progress, and we're progressing as quickly as we possibly can. But there are going to be changes. So when you're having a look at the user guides, thanks Tim, yeah, the user guides are great. Please just remember that if you see something missing, or it could just very well be that we're not ready to put it in there yet. Anyway, be kind and be happy with our new website. Okay, I'm just looking at, have we got a few questions going? Yes, we do. I think Archie has another question here, Noel, with respect to the Chingaling. So I'll direct that back to you, and there's another one posted after that. So I'll hand the mic back over to you to take on the questions, Noel. Thanks.
Okay, look, thank you very much for those questions. I'm just going back there to, it looks like Semagi has asked, what's the approximate date for going public? Are we looking at 2 or 3 months? I think you mean by going public is opening up for for the outside to be able to sign up, so new members can sign up, and that's obviously going to happen when all the lines go in play, and I'm really hoping that, I mean, right now, if I drag our development team back to assisting and doing things with the lines, it's slowing down the process of dealing with what has been needed technically for this investment group. So we're balancing between the two and trying to work out which is the most important. I mean, they're all important, but I think that if members seen trading of $2.8 billion in the exchange, that in itself is going to be a game changer for everybody. So we want that to happen. So it's been a priority out there. So the exchange, or the NLA, will open up for general sign-ups once we complete all of that and get these investors all fixed up. Yeah, look, Raymond there mentioning about the Smarter World website looking great, and I thoroughly agree. I will be in meetings probably. I've got some activity on over the next week or so, just some private matters I'm dealing with, but when I get back I'll be in full discussions with Lou, who is the mastermind behind the appearance on that site, and I do want to appreciate what he's doing out there. And you know, a lot of times, because working in with Maxine, Maxine's able to give them the guide, so it's really freed me up to be able to do what I need to do without being involved with this all the time. So I really appreciate what's going on. But we will be having a very close look at doing a little bit of a first release on our magazine. That's something that we want to get out there, which will have a lot of detail and will attract a lot of advertisers into the magazine as well. So that'll be something that we'll be talking about a little bit in the future, but I'll be talking about doing the first release on that over the coming weeks. Archie's the mention about the 50 billion Chingaling. Will they be released over time, and what would demand of these? What would the drive demand of the to maintain the price? Just to cover that a little bit there with it, Archie, that I don't know when all the coins are going to be released out there, but they will certainly be released. They've got 50 billion of them, and they will eventually be released. Just remember that the reason the Chingaling coin is there, the Chingaling coin is the stored value that's used for them to invest in their futures trading with gold, silver and diamonds and everything else they trade in there as an investment. They use the Chingaling as stored value. Remember, I mentioned before that and I use easy figures because I run out of fingers and toes to count up the dollars that they deal with. But imagine there's $1,000 worth of Chingaling coin sold. It's not NLA, it's Chingaling sold. 500 of that goes into the asset account. The other 500 is used for the investment, a 14-day investment, and it's invested at 22% per day. So when that 500 comes back, it comes back at $2,200. At $2,200, they then put 500 into the asset account that was earmarked for the asset account, which leaves them 2,200. On that 2,200, 90% of it is allocated for the humanitarian projects, and they're heading well over the $3 trillion mark now that they've got ready to go for humanitarian projects. As I mentioned before, they've allocated $100 billion to Next Level Africa. So that will continue to grow, and that's where the funds will come from for the humanitarian. And of course they will trade, because there's no other reason on the Chingaling coin. They don't necessarily want the Chingaling coin to be used. That's why we've got the NLA coin. out there. It's a coin we can use for merchanting and you know, for merchant accounts and various other things, but the Chingaling is designed for the stored value in the humanitarian projects, so that's where that comes from. And I just spoke of if $1,000 worth of it sold, but because they deal in billions of dollars on this, and you've only got to look, I think the Chingaling, I could be wrong, I'm not looking at it now, but Chingaling went up $50 in a couple of days ago, and I think their asset account stands at, correct me on this if I'm wrong, but I think it's about 47 billion. So I think about 5 billion went into the asset account 2 or 3 days ago. So that's the returns that come back from these investments, and so that's where you see it. And of course I think 600 million went into the NLA account out there as well, so that's where it all comes from. So it'll be ongoing. The Chingaling will be ongoing, and once they reach the capacity of 20 billion that the bank are putting into the NLA asset account to back the coin, and that's another reason the investors are coming in there, because of that asset backing that we're getting of 20 billion. There'll be no more funds coming from the bank on that, so all money going to our asset account will be around what we trade through the exchange and with the coins. So by that time I think we'll be up and running with no effort at all. Ramasada 1, okay, now will we in near future have a debit card facility available with our CX or something like a cloud bank? We're going to have a debit card. The debit card will be going in there. It's already been organised. So once it's all cleared, they'll put it on there. But as I said, there's priorities all the way through. So we'll watch that unfold as we go. But definitely we'll have a debit card in there. Yoda, are we able to physically sell NLA coins at this moment with the progress and delays happening? There are many trades going on, both in and outside the exchange. So you look at there's trading. You see what actually happened out there is that because 2 weeks ago we expected the trading to start with the investors, I mentioned to members it's probably not worth your while sending any more funds in, because by the time the funds got there, anyone with coins for sale, you would have had quite a bit of money in there. I mean, there's a few $1 million worth of coins up for sale in the exchange. So that's why you haven't seen smaller amounts go in there, but people have been putting in other cryptos like Bitcoin and trading in that. You'll see some of that happening out there. So there's definitely trading going on with the coin. People are doing it member to member, and also trading with the, if you look at the activity in the exchange, you'll see that there is trading going on in there. I mean, only small, but it is trading. I think we've probably had in the last 6 weeks, because the exchange just opened up again then. I lose track of times when they've had it down, but there's probably been close to, look, with Bitcoin trading and Duck out there, it's probably around the $40,000 mark, I think, that's been traded in there. Okay. Maxine, great news. Any news is always appreciated. It is a business, and anything that helps moving this brilliant program forward. Thank you, NLA team, for all the work done behind the scenes that is not seen. Thanks, Maxine, and you certainly need congratulating as well on your effort out there and supporting the people that you support, and you well know, I guess, some of the work that's been done in the background that people can't see, because that's what happens. It's a little bit like a duck. You see the duck on the top with nothing happening, but a lot of activities going on under the water, and that's a bit where we are, where there's a lot of it you can't see. Tom's asked, will the 10 accounts be able to purchase coins for $1? That's what they are, Tom. If someone takes 10 accounts, those 10 accounts are then allocated, because it's on 10 accounts would be $22. That includes your 15 coins to get started there with it. So that's what that is. So that's why we're doing them, to allow members to get those remaining accounts there, because we are getting close now to ceasing the dollar coin. So anything that's been accumulated, I started trying to do some figures on it, but by the time we put all the lines in there, and there's going to be probably around the $100 million mark that will go into the NLA community from coin value and stuff like that. So there's going to be some excited people when this all starts to roll out. And when this does happen, you'll find that we're a sleeping giant. No one really knows about what's going on here unless you're a member and you tune into these webinars. But there's not going to be too many people who won't want to be part of this as well, because of our humanitarian and our crowdfunding platform out there, and particularly the activity that we'll have in cryptocurrency. We'll have members in our organization that are in the top group of people making money on cryptocurrency, because remember, ours has never gone down, and I can't see our coin ever going down. Because what I'm going to be asking with some of the humanitarian projects we'll be looking after, I'm going to be asking them to support the coin as well, and to invest back into the coin with some of the funds that they're getting, so that we can keep the coin value going up. So asking them to invest back into the coin out there, because we've got a strategy in place for them that will certainly benefit them to earn more money again for their humanitarian projects they've got going through the value of our coin. Any questions? Yoda, when the debit card is available, we'll be able to buy multiple cards. Am I able to trade NLA coins for Bitcoin at present? Well, it's in two parts. The cards out there, there'll only be one card per account in CX out there, so you'll only be able to have one card on it. If somebody else in the family wants a card, they'll have to have an account, so each account represents a card. So and it's because it all has to be KYC'd. You can't have an account there and a card if you're not KYC'd. Am I able to trade NLA coins for Bitcoin at the moment? Well, yes, if there's people wanting to do that, that's all in the exchange, and there are people doing that now. So if you go into the exchange and list the coins that you want, or maybe there's people there that have got purchasings up on there, you can trade from that. So that's all happening there at the moment. All right, well look, I think we've covered the questions there, and it's pretty much straightforward. We will, once I hear of anything that's happening, and you may see it before we have a chance to put it out, you may see the trading from the investment group happening very, very shortly. But that's what's happening, the process. Our developer is going over to the States to assist with the purchasing on the coin, and we're about to see 20 million of our coin be purchased, so that's going to be an incredible thing out there. Tom, when the investors I think that is their purchase, will it be one bulk purchase or a series of small purchases with the coin value climbing each time? I'm trying to understand the best sale price for the coins. First of all, they'll take the coins that are on the exchange. Once they do that, and I'm not sure how high the value will go on that. I can only guess at it. We can see that there's $150, so anyone that's listing coins out there at least to 150. Maybe they might go whisker over that, but don't hold me to that. But once those coins on the exchange have gone, then the market maker can release more coins. That's what they're not interested in. The coins are on the exchange. It's the market maker releasing 20 million coins to them. So once the coins have been purchased from the exchange, that's when the market maker will release them, and so it'll all be tidied up very, very quickly, because once the coins they start to purchase, the market maker then can release the coins very quickly, and then they'll snap up the rest of them. All right, look, I think we've covered all the questions there. I'm going to hand it back to Angelina. I do want to thank everybody for turning up on the webinar, and hopefully there's just a little bit longer to wait now, just a couple more sleeps, and might see some activity. As I said, we're all really pushing this along to get it completed. So let's all say a little prayer for these people working with getting the investors up and running. All right, I'll hand it back to Angelina, and thanks everybody for turning up, and I look forward to seeing you on the next webinar.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Noel. And thank you for everyone posting your questions and your fabulous support and encouragement. I'm just going to repost for the emails for the expression of interest for the 10 plus or 50 plus bundles, and the general support email. And I just say a big thank you once again for joining us today, and we will see you next week. Keep your eyes out on the exchanges, people, and have a great day wherever you are. Bye for now.